Welcome to the Really Bad Podcast with your host Will.
And Mangwin.
No expectations. This will either be really good
And
or
no
like
sponsor.
probably really bad.
Yeah, really, really bad.
Sponsored by nobody, no music,
Nothing.
just conversation.
We're good enough. Or bad enough, I should say.
True.
True. How are we all doing? The much anticipated Really Bad Podcast is here. Yes, it went by a couple different names before, but guess what? We changed it because we're really bad and we don't care. We have a channel for it, and after this first episode, you can find the rest of our subsequent episodes on that channel. I'm here with Big Will, if you'd like to give a little introduction to your disgusting self.
Like he said, my name's Will. Really Bad Podcast. Really great host. Simple as that.
That's simple.
We're both in the computers and technology and whatever. But we enjoy talking about anything and everything.
And that's why our name was Everything and Nothing until some low-down scoundrels stole it from us, and we can't do that because that's not original. And we're kind of...
No, we're honest. We're honest people.
We're honest. Nobody can tell us that we stole because we always, in the computer industry especially, we don't steal.
You can't copyright.
No copy.
No plagiarism. We don't do it.
No. I guess I'll introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Mangwin. Some of you may know me, others don't. I have a small YouTube channel. I'm growing. It's just called Mangwin. Feel free to find it, subscribe to it, watch everything 2 times over. And I am also involved in computers. I like computers, especially cybersecurity. It's very interesting to me. And I also like another wide, diverse set of topics, anything and everything. And
I know we're both. I already have my bachelor's in computer science, and you're about to get yours.
2 more years.
2 more years?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were further along than that.
Nope, I am not. I'm not old. I'm afraid that I am far from it.
And I'm getting my master's. I'll graduate this summer.
Blech. No, I can't imagine graduating.
Dude, my bachelor's was harder than my master's.
Your bachelor's was harder than your master's. Are you kidding me? So what you're telling me is I should go for a master's.
I'm gonna do it in a year and a half. It usually takes people 2 years. But I did take 5 classes in my very first semester, which is not advisable.
Okay.
A normal load, you're supposed to take 2.
That's it?
That's it.
Two
Yeah.
a semester.
The total hours in my program is 33.
Wow. Well, you just knocked it right out, didn't you?
I did 15 hours my first semester. That's half the program.
Are the classes harder than a bachelor class?
It depends. Sometimes a lot of the teachers are really lazy, like the one I'm in now, Thursday night.
Yeah.
My professor is pretty lazy. He's 15 minutes late, sometimes 30 minutes late to class, and our midterm was 1 question on Canvas.
So basically, free question, free midterm.
That, or you have teachers that come in the class and they talk about a certain topic, and then they say it's going to be on the exam, and it's not on the exam at all. And then you have those teachers. And then you have other professors that are just confusing and don't know anything.
Well, same for bachelors. There's a lot of that.
It's a lot of the same teachers.
Yeah.
It's all the same teachers, honestly, but it's a great field to be in, though.
Would you say it was worth it to go back and get your master's rather than just sticking to a bachelor?
To be honest, I had no plans to get my master's. I was only going back to get my master's because my girlfriend at the time, soon to be wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The beautiful Sydney. She was, you're too kind.
Dude.
The crowd.
Woo! You're married.
But I graduated spring of 2020, and we knew each other, but then we like met again, and it just all kicked off, and then the story kind of wrote itself.
And that was history.
I was fall of 20. I took a semester off because I didn't know where I wanted to be. And then I remember I applied to a bunch of different places, IBM,
Mm.
a bunch of other different places online, and that was the height of the vid,
Man,
otherwise known as COVID,
the big one.
and it shut pretty much everything down. And
Wow.
so I was like, I'll just go back to school,
Might as well.
go
I mean,
back to the honey bun. That's what
Go-
I call her.
you call her honey
I call her
bun?
my honey bun.
Your honey bun, your sugar
'Cause
iced tea,
she's sweet.
and she's
She's sweet.
sweet. That's
she's
it.
sweet to me.
That's it.
Honey buns are sweet.
That's the only comparison with the honey bun.
Yes.
Okay. She's a nice, sweet, honey glazed honey bun.
No, but she'll graduate this spring, and I'll graduate in the summer, and get married in August.
Dude, I still haven't gotten your save the date, by the way.
I've lost all faith in the postal service. I don't care if they work on the weekends.
If you want to, I mean, I'll take it by hand.
You have to give me your address again. Make sure it gets to you. The
Yeah.
actual invitation.
Yeah, it's excuse me. Yeah, we had to bleep that out. I can only imagine being married. That seems like so grown up to me. But in reality, it's not
Well,
even that.
When I was your age, in my mind, I never thought I'd be married at the time I'm getting married at now. So it's very. Time will pass,
Mm.
and your mindset kind of changes. But when you meet the right person, it just goes.
Yeah,
It's simple.
as it should be. Take that note, all of you 15 to 16-year-old viewers. Don't worry about it. Your wife will come, and she will be more than willing to be locked into a contract with you for the rest of your life. And if you feel discouraged now, just hang in there. She'll come.
Is that what Miss Mangwin?
Yeah, that's
Miss Mangwin does that?
yeah, that's what Miss Mangots does. She came running to me and said, "Please date me, please. I want you. I don't want anyone else." And then I said, "I guess so." And she'll kill me if I say that and leave it at that.
She's not here right now.
She always is.
You have
No.
you have a lot of followers though. A lot of groupies, some would say.
Yeah, I got a lot of Manguinites. I don't know. They want to be called the murder of Manguin.
Why do they? Why?
Crows in a flock are
Ah.
called a murder. That's the one thing I've heard, and I sometimes call them Mangots, but
I've
I don't
never
really.
known that.
Really?
Murder.
You didn't know that a flock of crows was a murder?
No, nobody knows that.
Dude, comment down below if you know that a flock of crows is a murder, and please help me prove my point. That there's a good
I
bit of
agree
people.
with your point. I'm just
Surely there's a
Hey.
few people out there that know that. And if not, you learned something on the Really Bad Podcast, which means we actually exceeded expectations.
really bad podcast. Really good conversation.
Really Bad Podcast. Really good conversation.
This is really bad.
But it's
But it's
so
supposed to
good.
be. It's supposed to be. True.
True. I guess we might as well, since this is our foundational episode, explain where that came from.
Explain the true,
We have to explain the true.
or otherwise known as true.
True. So,
How do you explain this to people that don't know him?
there is a mythical man that we are both in contact with very often in person, and we'll just say that his demeanor, actions, personality, figure, everything about him is
It's so unique.
it's just so special and so unique, just like our podcast is.
But he's not really bad.
No, he's not bad. He's really
great.
good.
Really great guy.
Some would say the best. He's definitely the best dressed person I know.
Mm.
Absolutely. And
he is fly, if people still use that term.
if that was still a thing, he would be in the dictionary.
Fresh,
Oh, that's even better. He is fresh.
certified.
Certified, bona fide. Can't be lied about. He's his mannerisms are unique. So much so to the point that we want them and we want to have them, but we can't because we're not him. So, one of them is the way that he agrees with what you say. And it's simple but effective. All he does is he looks at you and he says, "True."
Give me an example. Give me an example about this mythical creature, like we're having a conversation.
Right. So I saw that you were looking up an application for a scholarship in statistics today.
True. Yeah, I was, but I gotta do my thing. It's true.
That is just a sliver of what it's like to have
A
to
slice.
to be blessed with an interaction with this man. He's really restructured my future since I've met him.
My life has changed since I've met him. You can't live the same way after you've met this one.
Absolutely not. And for anyone out there who has the pleasure of meeting him in the future, you don't even have to know his name. If you meet him, you'll know. And then you can thank us for introducing you to such a wonderful, beautiful person, such as this mythical creature that we cannot say the name of for his own privacy. But we may have him on as a guest in the future.
Fingers crossed.
If he accepts.
If he accepts.
Obviously, we would have to get his acceptance and his blessing, but if he said yes.
It would pull in a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Getting him on this.
Oh, for sure. Gosh, that would be
really bad podcast.
Really good guest.
Really great guest.
The best guests. We're going to have some of the best guests lined up on this show. We have him in our plans for sure.
We've got people kind of clawing at the opportunity to get on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Once we fully announce this to the people.
Absolutely. It'll be, gosh, we won't be able to keep people off of us.
And we don't discriminate. We'll have everybody on here, no matter.
Anything, anyone.
It's all about character.
That's it.
With our guests. That's what we aim for.
If you can keep that watch time high, you're on, baby.
We haven't been friends for too long.
No, not really.
Maybe a year?
Maybe. It's been about a year. Not even truly a year. We've known of each other for about a year.
I don't even remember the first time we met. It's definitely at that place we go to down the street a lot.
Yeah, I believe so. If not that, then it was at your humble abode.
I can see that.
At one of your famous parties. And, gosh, how was I introduced to you?
I don't know. Probably definitely through the curly head guy that lives with me. Or used to.
Yeah. Oh, dang. We need to have him on. That would be awesome.
He said he wants to, because I've talked to him about it. He said he wants to.
Oh, that would be sick. I'm so excited. Dude, we got a big future ahead of us. We got at least 2 seasons of episodes that we already have planned. Not to mention whatever else comes. That's going to be awesome. I
don't remember the first time we met.
I don't either. It was just so natural.
We clicked. He was honest.
You were immediately almost like a motherly figure to me. Immediately upon meeting you.
That means a lot, because I don't know what that means. But it means something.
It means something. And I'll give $5 to anybody out there who can decode what that means. Just kidding. Please don't hold me to that. This is the Really Bad Podcast, and nothing we say is, you can't hold it against us. We're bad. We disclaim that.
Ad break for the Really Bad Podcast. Psych, just kidding.
We don't have any.
We don't have any.
Nobody wants to sponsor us.
Yet.
I can't wait until we get our first sponsor. It's got to be really bad. We can only take bad products.
Maybe we shouldn't just take bad products. Maybe it should be like a polar opposite type deal.
Yeah, like with our guests. We have the best guest.
Terrible host.
Great
guest.
Best advertisements, best products. Dude, this is going to be sick. I can smell the cash right now. I mean, I can smell the viewership and bond between our viewers and enjoyment of our little goofs and gaffs.
Tell me about the history of the Mangwin.
My gosh.
How did that come into play?
Oh, Mangwin has such a deep and rich history.
The people want to know.
I almost have to teach a 101 on this for some people, because this has been around for 6 or 7 years at this point.
Wow.
It's been
I didn't think it was that long. I thought it was only like a year or two.
Dude, it has been a long ride, and I could not be any more appreciative and thankful of all of the people who have made it possible. Looking at you, kind of good at guitar. Looking at you, everybody from the Obamacraft gang.
I like that name.
Everyone from the old PewDiePie Discord, you guys made it possible. Thank you guys so much. We've taken a lot of different turns on our little journey. Most of it originating from stupid videos I make, from Bigfoot hunting for all of you OG viewers from years ago. The Mangwin channel actually got deleted at one point, and the one that's there now is not the original.
Why would they delete it?
Redacted. You know what? We'll get into that in another podcast, because that's a deep topic in itself. But just know that there was a point in time where the first one got deleted, and the one that's there now, not brand new, but it's not.
Is the one you have now more successful than the
Oh
old one?
yeah,
Okay.
the old one I think only got around 50 subscribers, or a little bit over that, before it got deleted. So I've definitely had a lot more success with this new one because of lessons I learned and actually putting enough time into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing.
Would you say it's harder now for smaller channels to grow
Oh, yeah.
than back in the day? I
Oh,
feel like
my
I
gosh.
feel like all I see is big channels now. I don't see small channels.
No, there is absolutely next to none of any small channel representation anywhere. And people are surprised now, like when you tell them, like, oh, I have a channel. It's like, and it's not so much like the 100 below range. Like, people, there's so many people that have that. But when you get like above that and you're like sub 1,000, above 100, people don't see that, and they're like, what, you have that many? That's weird. Because you just don't get the same kind of promotion, and it's harder to get in the algorithm because you're a smaller person. Nobody really cares about what you're making a video about unless it's something super trendy or super interesting or super well done. But if you don't have the resources and time for that, it's difficult, and it's kind of a uphill battle, but I think it's fun.
Well, everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah. That first 100 is probably the most difficult, though.
I remember a couple years ago, because I've always been in the YouTube, that I noticed I would browse the home recommended videos more than my subscriptions.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I do that now.
Yeah, I mean, I do it now too, but I remember when I was younger, I would just go to my subscriptions and go through those. And if there was nothing good on that, I would just close the app. But now,
You
go to the home tab, and there's always something in there for you.
If you can make it to the recommended tab, you've made it. But
And I've found some good channels on there.
oh yeah, no, sometimes it gets it right. Like, I've recently found Lockpicking Lawyer within the last year. Dude, you can't, audio listeners love you to death. I'm showing off my lockpicking things right now that I've got, and I've been learning a little bit. I did have a clear cylinder.
Where'd you get that?
My granddad has been loaning it out to me. So when I figured out how to pick the clear cylinder very well, I gave it back to him, and then he's like, here you go, here's some real ones.
Young Jedi, you're ready.
Dude, I'm a Padawan about to emerge into Anakin Skywalker.
We gotta have a Star Wars episode.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so much.
You can do so much. Like the new game that just came out for the Lego viewers.
See, games that come out right now are like in that time frame. By Christmas, they'll be considered old, and then they'll be on sale. So that's what I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely can't afford the $50 price tag
There's
on
a
it.
$70 one. It's like you get like all the
DLC.
yeah.
I don't. To me, that just sounds wrong that a Lego game has DLC. Like, back in like 2008, that would have never been a thing. You just get it for like what, $40 on your Wii, and that's it. You get I got so much playtime out of that. Like, I ran that Wii into the ground. Did you ever have one?
I think everybody had a Wii. I think, what is it, like the third best-selling console ever?
I think so.
It's up there.
You know, did yours ever do the thing where it went and it would like freeze and you'd have to restart it?
Yeah.
I ran mine into the ground so bad that I could hardly play any. I think it was like the Lego Star Wars, the Clone Wars game, I could hardly play that without the system like always crashing down.
I love those videos where people will take them apart and fix them and stuff like that.
Ooh, I haven't really gotten into that, but now that you mention it, I may have to start watching more.
I have two extra, those old white fat Xbox 360s,
Yeah.
and I have an original Xbox. And on the original Xbox, the time capacitor is in there, which was basically just tell the Xbox what time it was once you set it, and it would keep up with the time and the year and all that.
Yeah.
Microsoft went really cheap on them, so all of them are like fried and broken. So anytime you load it up, it'll ask you to set the time, which is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it can like leak out onto the board, stuff like that. And there's videos of people that take them out and they'll resolder them. But I know nothing about soldering. And if you've ever watched a video of soldering, it looks like witchcraft. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't look real.
I would never be able to manage that because I don't trust myself with flame that much. Like, I feel like I would mess it up. Welcome to the Really Bad Podcast, everyone. We have alarms, everything. We don't care. That's our brand.
That was actually my honey bun.
Oh,
Like,
the honey bun ruined the podcast.
I have a contact set up to where even if I'm have it on Do Not Disturb, it'll come through.
Oh, that's so
full
sweet.
blast.
That's so sweet. I just keep mine on silent, which is sometimes good, other times not good.
My phone is always on either silent or vibrate. Like, I don't like when phones, like when somebody else has a phone and it goes off and it's like a loud ringtone.
Oh my gosh. I had a thing to say, but I don't think I can say it. And I in no way intend this as racist at all. This is simply my own observation.
I like where this is going.
This is really on brand for the Really Bad Podcast. I've noticed a trend that people of Indian ethnicity, for some reason, a majority of them have ringtones that sound like they came out of a Samsung from 2006. There's very loud, very like stringed instrument heavy, like harp or it's or like acoustic guitar, something, and it's always like much louder than I thought a phone could be, and it's always in the middle of class or just I don't know. Maybe it just has to do with my selection of major and environment, but it always seems to be like that because I can't think of a time where someone else's phone has gone off.
That makes me think of that story you told me. Maybe it was you. You said he had a guy in your class. He was Indian. He gets real mad in statistics.
Oh, that was in my statistics teacher's office, and oh my gosh, he was screaming, and you could hear him from all the way down the hallway. And he was like yelling about something wouldn't work. He'd put it in, and every time he'd get 1 and 0, 1 and 0, and it didn't work. Why is it not working? I don't understand. And he was getting so mad at her for something that didn't even sound like her fault. And I was just like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just a problem you can't figure out. I get it's frustrating, but just that poor teacher, mind you, is so soft-spoken and just the type that would not even like look at a fly and think to hurt it, and he's just sitting there screaming at her in her ear like violently, and I'm like, wow, if that guy kills somebody, I would not be surprised, because this is like this is how mass murderers start, I think.
I remember, I'm sure it's the same way for you, but during my bachelor's, there would maybe be 3 to 5 American students, and the rest would be international. And it's even a greater divide in my graduate classes where, like, I've been in classes where I'm the only American student, and then the rest are international, Indian, Chinese.
That's true depending on the class.
Yeah.
There's a lot of classes this semester where there's about 10 American students and the rest are international, but I've had a couple of computer science courses where it's more like there's only a couple of American people, and then the rest are international transfers and all that.
I've made a lot of great friends that I still talk to today
Oh,
from
yeah,
those
no.
classes.
I have plenty of friends from all over. Like, well, we have one in common, but it's probably a sore subject for you.
Trying to think of who you're talking about.
You know, maybe we don't need to talk about him. Or maybe we do. It is the Really Bad Podcast, after all.
I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
You know.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's for a way down the line episode.
Yeah, that we don't need to get too ahead of
He
ourselves.
probably deserves his own season.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is just the first episode. We're doing introductions here. And it looks like we're about to be at the 30-minute mark. Would you like to make this a longer episode, or would you like
I
this?
said we go for 30.
Let's try to hit 30.
I didn't even think we went for 26.
Oh yeah. It just flows so natural, man. Well,
Terrible podcast.
the Terrible Podcast
Really bad, some would say.
with even worse hosts,
Mm.
but the best guests and the best soon-to-be advertisers. And you best believe I am marketing the absolute crap out of any merchandise that comes down the line. I'm ready for a Really Bad Podcast hat, and it's only the first day.
And people, when this goes out, don't come up to us trying to jump on.
No.
No.
If
we
you weren't here from the start, we don't want you.
we come to you.
Oh, that's even better. Ignore what I said. I suck at this.
I'm trying to think what movie that came from. There was a movie where they did that.
Oh, I don't know my movie quotes that well. We come to you.
But yeah, we talk about anything on this. It could be whatever's on our mind that day,
Mm-hmm.
current events, world events,
Past events, history perhaps,
history.
future.
I love history.
History is good for me.
If I didn't pursue computer science, I would be in history if there was money in it.
Oh, absolutely. Just the fact that they're, really.
You can't do anything in history besides be a teacher,
And that's boring. I don't care about our youth.
and you have to have a PhD to teach.
Oh,
a
yeah,
normal
that's
job.
right.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
that's the big reason for PhDs is to teach.
See, I don't think I want to be teaching cybersecurity. I'm fine with my own bubble.
I feel like with that,
If there were
it
a
changes
major,
so much.
yeah, like I'm sure the professors that are there now, they're like probably half of them are completely lost and just reading off a book.
I had a professor last week try to explain Bitcoin, and he did it completely wrong. He didn't even understand the hashing, and it's just bad.
Would I have taken him by now? 2 years in?
Maybe. It's the
Maybe.
teacher I was talking about that's really late all the time.
I don't think you said a name for that though.
And I'm not going to. But he's the only teacher I know that's honestly late for everything. He's really cluttered. His office is really cluttered if you've ever been in there.
I've never been there.
Okay.
I don't think I've been to any of their offices yet.
I'll have to tell you after this.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
for
audio.
sure. That's a Patreon exclusive. Ow. Oh, I'm sorry. That's going to be very loud for you guys. But that's our brand. It's really bad.
This is it. This is us. It'll get better, a little bit better, but
It will plateau pretty quick. But once we get our groove on.
we'll get some music.
Oh, yes.
Not even going to tell you who's doing the music yet. We know, but we won't make it a surprise.
We may have it by this first one, but in the case we don't,
The second episode, if we
Definitely.
don't have the music for the second episode,
definitely.
it's going to be banging.
Absolutely. I think we can get this shipped off in one day. One night, even.
Wow.
This may be, like, super revolutionary, depending on how easy this is for me. Dude. Is there any bleeps in this episode? I don't
One
think-
in the middle.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think I said a name.
Yeah.
but-
Well, that's fine. It's the Really Bad Podcast. We're going to make mistakes. We're supposed to.
It's really bad.
But
We're really
so
bad,
good.
but
It's so good.
wherever you're coming from, day or night, whatever time, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening.
Hope we made your day, night, drive, work, shift, anything a little bit worse, but also sprinkling in a little bit of better.
Hey, do the opposite of what we do. To be really good out there. Be good to each other. And thanks for stopping by the Really, Really Bad Podcast.
We'll have a lot more to come very soon. You guys.
Was it still recording?